My name's Angus, I'm a chiro. Over the last 12 months, I have studied chiropractic marketing to figure out why it is so damn hard for chiropractors to grow their own practices, especially when they launch their own clinics for the first time. And the biggest problem I found was that there's a lack of skill that we have as chiros, and there's a big bunch of people taking advantage of that, as in agencies, coaches, etc. So what I've done is created a system to help chiros get control of their marketing so that they're upskilled, they know how to outsource properly, and they can actually start to grow. That's the whole point of this whole system. The way we do it is, instead of wasting leads through a normal funnel type system, we make a nurture cycle. And anyone that comes in, we build a network around them and we nurture them until they're ready to come in, instead of always going straight for the lead and straight for the booking. So it's a slower approach, but it's a more sustainable and long-term play. Now, what we're going to go through in this video is the hyperlearning loop. So we're going to cover three things. The first one is why you sweat so much. The second one is, why do Australians sound so bad on camera? And the third one's going to help you get your coloring in skills again. So let's get straight into it. I try and keep these down to 10 minutes. I'm getting excited, so I'm going to take this off and let's do it. So, hyperlearning loop. This is going to teach you to learn so quickly that people are going to think you're a fraud. People are literally going to say, you must be cheating. There's no way you could possibly be doing that fast. And you're going to sit there and go, okay, bro, whatever, like whatever makes you feel better. There's no cheating here. It's literally just a matter of using all of these different ways to learn within half an hour so that it burns into your brain and you can't forget it. You continually reapply the system, and over time you just get better and better and better and better and better. By the time you look back at yourself in a month, you've probably got 30 times better than you were before. The hyperlearning loop lives on the basis of making content. And I know what you're going to say, ugh, I hate making content. That's why it's so good, because it forces you to use so many different ways of learning in a 30-second clip that it's so painful and uncomfortable that you can only get better, and you have to get better faster. Otherwise, you're just going to cry yourself to sleep every night like you are right now. So the way it works is, we're going to start over here. We walk in and we have an idea and we go, okay, I'm going to write a script for a piece of content. Cool. So you write out your script, you write out your idea from your brain, write it out in a format. Then you jump into our free Facebook group and you use our ChatGPT to give you feedback on your submission. So you then send that in, it gives it back to you and gives you some prompts to improve on. It might rewrite it for you, but now you've at least written it down. So I'm just going to start to count this as we go. You've written it down, you've sent it, you've got it back, you've read it, and you've rewritten it again. You've made some changes. So that's the second way that you're learning. You're now writing and reading your own stuff. You've probably never done that in your life. You probably write your patient notes and never look back over them again. Cool. Plus you got feedback from someone else. So you got external input into your work. So that's another level of learning. Now, you have a script written. So we're going this way. You have a script written. You've come in, you've checked it, and you've read it. So we've got 3 levels so far. Now, you go, okay, awesome. If you stick to our plan, you'll make all your scripts at one point, then you go and film everything the next time. So now you come back, you go, okay, we're going to do all the filming today. And you go, okay, I'm going to now present this. We're speaking it. So now you have to memorize it line by line and speak it out loud in front of a camera, which makes you sweat. I'm getting a little bit sweaty right now. I don't know why. But that's the 4th layer. It's putting like social pressure on yourself to then speak it in front of a camera. Speaking to a camera has a very similar feeling to public speaking. I don't know why, it just does. I think it's because you've got to look at this thing in the eye. So that's 4 ways already, plus you memorize it, like a rope learning, which I don't know what you call that, but anyway. So then you've spoken it. Now comes the fun part. You get to go download this video onto your computer or your phone, and you get to watch yourself, and you get to listen to yourself as an Australian speak in the language of whatever the opposite of love is. It is. It's nasally, I think, is at best, is the nicest way that I can say it to myself personally. But you have to sit there, you have to listen to yourself. So that's another one. Then you have to watch yourself, like watch how you move and deliver your message. That is god awful. It is the worst thing you have to do for yourself. I don't think that there is any other system in the world that makes you do this unless you're recording yourself and making content. I don't think you record yourself in a new patient exam. So this, I think, is the absolute most uncomfortable you can make yourself. So we're halfway around the circle. We've got 7 things already. We're sweating. We sound terrible. Everything's bad. Then comes the fun part. So you're watching yourself. Now you need to edit it. Okay, so you actually need to edit this thing. So there's learnings in the group, but you literally will go from a one long clip and you'll chop yourself up in like when you're editing. So you have to literally sit there and this is painful, you sit there and you listen until you get the script right. So as you do your jump cuts, you'll say the same thing 5 times until you get it right, 10 times over in a 1 minute clip. So you sit there and you listen to yourself repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. Then you finally get it right. You chop that one, go to the next one. Listen to yourself, listen to yourself, listen to yourself. Then you bring them all together and then you got to listen to yourself again to make sure that the whole thing flows. So that you're listening 10 times over before you've even got to the finished product of just snipping the video up. So just watching yourself is one thing. Watching and listening to yourself is one thing. Then listening to yourself on repeat, snipping together and making another verbal script, that's another thing. And it's awful, but hey, you're getting better. So now that you've listened to yourself, you're happy with how it sort of fits together. Now we're starting to introduce that coloring in guide, okay? There's this creativity side that needs to come in. So what we do is it comes in 2 levels. The first level is you'll start to put sound effects in and music. So you'll actually start to use the other side of your brain and be like, okay, what's the vibe of this video? What sort of music should I put in the background? Plus sound effects for transitions. So you're thinking differently now completely. It's almost like you're building it's like a, I don't know, like audible picture. I don't think that's a thing. But anyway, you're like in your brain, you're trying to picture what this video would look like and sound like, and you create this image of sound. Then you go to, once you've got that right, you go to visuals. So then you go, okay, I've got my trimmed clips together. They look a bit crap just with my head. I'm gonna put some B-roll over it. I might get some movie clips and stuff like that. So now you have to think back to movies, things that you like that could visually represent what you're saying in these videos. That's fucking nuts. I'm sorry for the French, but that's how far, like you got to think back. Okay, now what is the feel and vibe of this and what movie clip suits this? That is insane, but that's what you do and you get good at it. So now you're adding an actual images, clips over what you're saying that matches the music that you've already put together. Insane. That's the visuals. Then, once you've made a video, a lot of people stop here. You've got to post the thing. That adds another layer of social pressure. You get feedback from your audience to see how the video did. Did it do well? Did it do bad? You also sit there and watch it yourself and you immediately apply what's one thing that I could change in this video to make the next one better? Just 1%. What's one thing? So you have like the public and your audience's feedback based on views, likes, comments, shares, saves. You get like actual data back, plus you analyze it yourself. So now you're listening to this whole thing that you've created, knowing that it's out there in the world and other people are watching it, and you're analyzing it for 1%. What am I going to make better? So we're up to 12. That is actually posting it online. So that's getting the thing out in the world. Then from that, we come back to scripting again, because what you're going to do is know what's working, what's not working. You're also going to analyze other creators, other people in the industry, so that you can start to filter their message down into your message. And that's where your scripting comes back in again, because you go, I like that idea. How can I apply that to what I do? You might be pulling these from other industries. You might be pulling it from inside our industry, but you're starting to, instead of your consuming content, you're actually using it to create. And that's another way to learn, is to watch other people's stuff and then use your brain and your imagination to turn that into a message that you could teach your audience. So that now, you can see, is a hyper learning loop. It goes this away, it has 13 touch points. That's not including repetition. Each time you script, you got to rewrite. You get a feedback, you got to rewrite it again. You read it, you need to keep reading it until you get the lines right. Then you got to watch it, you got to trim it down, you got to listen to it so many times until you get the right bit, and then put them all together and make sure they all flow. Then you got to get sound that matches the vibe of the video and sound effects. Then you got to find movie clips from somewhere deep in your brain that you remember kind of match the vibe of what you're saying and where you're up to in that video. Then you got to post it in the real world, take the social pressure of that, then assess other people's stuff and try and turn that into your own message so that then you can start writing it down. So we're up to 13. It could easily double in like every single time you have to redo things. But you can see just from one piece of content, we've had 13 lessons in the one thing. This is a 30 to 40 second video that takes, at the beginning, probably over an hour to make. At the end, maybe 20 minutes, if that, maybe 10 or 15, when you get really good at it. You can see how if you decide to post every single day, you're going to get better really quickly. And people are going to think, how did you get so far ahead of me? It's because of this, because you keep reapplying, getting 1% better, 13 times over, getting uncomfortable, sweating in front of the camera, listening to yourself sound like an idiot on a camera, putting it out there in the world and getting social pressure, and just continually refining. That is how you win. That is how you get better. That is how you learn insanely fast. Not only are you going to get better at creating content, you are going to get better at communicating your message, your purpose, how you help people, what you do. And if you want to think how that applies into practice, people are going to know exactly who you are, what you're about, what you do. When they're coming in, they already know what's going on and you can communicate it so much better. You are going to get years of experience in months, if not weeks, if you just start creating content. But 99% of people won't do it because they don't want to get sweaty and uncomfortable and they don't want to hear themselves on camera. So use that to your advantage. Get so far in front of them that they're like, you're a fraud, that's fake. You're just doing it for likes. Let them have it. They don't have the guts to do it themselves. So that's the hyper learning loop. The GBT that I referenced is in our free skill community. I'll link it at the bottom of this in the description. I don't know if I referenced anything else in there. No, that should be it. But, the schedule and stuff, there's heaps of stuff in there. There's a stupid amount of stuff in that group. So just go jump in there if you haven't already. It's free. We just want to help. And if you want to let me know what else you need help with, any other videos you want me to do, let me know and I'll make them. But that is the hyper learning loop, my friends.